It's Lori here. I'm back. So I'm here to start a new reading vlog. I have off from today, which is Monday, until until Saturday, Sunday. So I'm planning on getting a lot of reading done. My theme for this reading vlog, it might even split into two parts because I have a lot of books, is I am going to tackle quite a few books on my spring TBR. And I have a lot of options because I have been struggling the first half of this month with my reading. I've been reading really long books and I felt like it sort of kept me back a bit and I was feeling like I wasn't as reading as much, but I'm doing much better. So I took a bunch of books off my bookshelf. Some of them are on my TBR. One of them I definitely have to read because it's an adult read, but I put all the books in this cup and I'm going to show them to you super quickly. Not talk a lot about them. Hopefully they'll get read in this reading vlog or the next one. I'll probably make these reading vlogs a little bit longer. But one book I'm going to pull from is A Wicked Thing by Rihanna Thomas. Another one is Unravel the Dusk by Elizabeth Lim. Another one is In Every Generation by Kendra Blake. All of these are really good options. The Cartographers by Ping Shepherd is one that definitely has to get read because I need to read an adult book before the end of the month. Feather and Flame by Olivia Blackburn. Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan. Corner of White by Jacqueline Moriarty. And Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. So those are the books I'm pulling from. I have my trusty little mug. I do not know what is going to get picked. So we will see what gets picked. And then I'll chat about it. Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. All right, I'm going to go clean up my section, and this is going to be the book that I read. I'm going to read Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I got this from my friend Tiffany a couple of years ago for Christmas. It's been a bit since I've read a physical historical. Actually, no, it's not live. I've read one earlier in the month that I actually liked, but this is Bringing Down the Duke. This is set during the women's suffragette movement. It's set in 1879. And you follow Annabelle, who is one of the first female students recruited to Oxford. But her scholarship demands that she has to recruit men of influence to champion the rising women's suffragette movement. This sounds great. So I've heard very mixed things about this series, but everyone really did like the first book. So I'm going to dive into this book, and I'm going to do my reading vlogs a little bit differently just because I want to include as many books in this as I can. I think I'm going to give you guys an update like every 100 pages just so that it's less clips and I can probably include a few more things. I'm also going away tomorrow to go meet my new puppy, so I will definitely be reading this probably, but I'll probably bring another book because it's a little bit of a drive. So I'm going to go start reading this, and then I will update you guys when I read about 100 pages. But I'm excited, and I'm happy that this got picked because it's been on my TBR for a while. So I will be back with an update once I've read about 100 pages of this. Bye, friends. Laura here. I'm back. It is 9:35. I did wind up between last night and this morning reading about 100 pages of Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I'm liking it, but I really do prefer to listen to my historicals. But I'm going to keep going. I'm going to read at least 100 more pages and see how I feel. It basically follows this character named Annabelle, and she has been recruited to basically help with women's suffragettes movement, and part of her scholarship demands that she moves away from her house and her uncle and start to encourage men to support the women's suffragette movement. And she winds up becoming connected to this man who's very, very adamant. He is actually trying to work to help the Tory party remain in power. He is also, his name's Sebastian, and he, due to some bad mistakes of his father, he's trying to win back his house that the Queen's nephew has bought. It's a little bit complicated. But their paths have crossed, and she and him are in sort of a battle. She's staying at his house now with the 3 other main characters. It's cute. I like it. I like that it takes place during the women's suffragette movement in 1879. And I like a lot of things that are being said. It's a fun read. The writing style is a little bit clunky for me, but again, I normally read my historicals, listen to them, but I'm liking it. So I'm gonna read it. I'm also going to see my puppy. It's not that far away. I thought it was, but it's not. It's 20 minutes away. But I will bring my book. My goal is to make some significant progress on this today. Also, YouTube queue update. I did add a bunch more videos because I forgot a couple. I have 32 left. Sure, will probably go up as the day goes on because people normally post Tuesdays. So I'm going to go back to reading, and I'll update you guys when I can. Probably when I read another 100 pages. I do want to make this reading vlog a little bit longer, so it's going to be mostly focused on the books. But today I'm just going to see my new dog that we're going to get in a couple of months, and I will update you guys about that. But I'm going to read 100 pages, and then I'll give you guys another update. Bye, friends. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to put down Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I just think I'm in the mood to listen to it, and I don't have access to an audiobook right now, unfortunately. So that's sort of where I'm at, and unfortunately, I normally love to listen to historicals. This writing style is a little bit too choppy for me right now, and I'm just not enjoying it. And because I have so much time off, I really do want to read books that are like fast-paced and engaging. So I am going to put this in my cart, and the next time I get an Audible credit, I will probably pick this book up because I am interested. It's not a book I want to read right now. So I am going to DNF this. It's going to be a soft DNF, and I will probably pick up the audiobook at some point, and I'll probably keep the book until I'm done. But it's just not capturing me as much as I wanted, and I have heard a bunch of mixed things about this series, but I did get it as a gift, so I do like the elements of women's voting. Like, that's really, really interesting to me. But just not what I wanted. So I'm going to choose the book that I'm going to focus on. My mom moved my cup, so I have to go get that. But, yeah, so I'm going to, remember where I am. I'm on chapter 13. That's actually not that hard to remember. But I'm going to pick my next book, and then that will be what I'm going to focus on for the rest of this reading vlog. But this is a soft DNF, unfortunately. So here's my mug, and I am going to choose one. Let's see. Glow of the Fireflies. This actually works because it does have lights on the cover, and that is my last Aurelium prop that I need to finish. So I'm gonna go, let me show you guys it. It's right over here, actually. Right, let me go show you that, and then I'll give you guys my... This is a very long time ago from Untitled Teen. It's from the same author that wrote Kiss of the Royal. And this follows a girl named Bryony, and she winds up having to move back to the Smoky Mountains after something happens, and she doesn't really remember what happened, but she finds this guy named Alder who he claims is a childhood friend, and they try to uncover what is happening. I've had this book for so long, like a very, very long time. So, and it does have some of my favorite tropes. I'm really excited. It is only, let me see, how much is this? It is about not even 300 pages. So this is probably good, and it will do my Aurelium prompt, which I think is definitely doable. So I'm going to pick this one up. I'm really excited. It is on that TBR as well. So yeah, I'm going to pick this one up. I'm also probably going to leave to go check out the puppy and do all that stuff. So I'm excited for that, and I will give you guys a heads up when I read probably about another 100 pages. I want this reading vlog to be kept a little bit on the shorter side. So this will be my next read. Bye, friends. A lot has happened since my last clip. I wound up DNFing, Bringing Down the Duke. I may pick it up as an audiobook. I have really struggled with, traditionally published romances like those, historical fiction romances. I just have not loved them. I read another one a couple of months ago and didn't really love it either, and I wound up DNFing it. So I don't know how I feel about that. I might pick up the audiobook just to say that it's done, but I did wind up DNFing it. However, I'm really enjoying Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Duken. I'm loving this book quite a bit. It seems like the perfect spring read for me. I read about 100 pages. 96, but pretty much 100. But so the premise of this book, and I got this unsolicited from Untitled Teen a couple of years ago. I don't even know. I think this was an ARC, but it came out in 2019. So I got this quite a bit ago from Untangled. Follows this girl named Bryony, and she is a swimmer. She's very active in that community, but she has amnesia from a past event from 6 years ago. In that 6 event, her house burned down. Her mom left, and her dad moved to a different place of Tennessee. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. But when so that's one part. And she doesn't really have any memory before that 6 years ago. She doesn't remember her past. She remembers nothing. But when her grandmother, who lives back where she used to live, breaks her leg, she has to go visit her with her best friend to take care of her for the summer. And things start uncovering, what is happening. It's a very open-ended story, but there is a flash from the past connection that I'm really liking. I have been craving, fairy and, fantastical stories. There is an element to this because she's basically trying to save her mother. I will say that. There's an element of trying to save her mother. She's also trying to uncover her past. There is some creatures in this book. It just is like the perfect spring read. Like this, I could not have picked a better spring read. So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, so I am going to go work out. It's still so windy. It's just so windy here in Long Island. And like, I am normally not a chicken. Like, I will go for bike rides. I will walk, but it's just so cold. So I think I'm just going to do like an in-house workout. And my goal is to finish this book by the end of today. One of the true crime cases I follow had an acquittal, which I'm not that happy about. We did get to see the puppy. I'll see if I can show you guys. You may not be able to see like through this. But I'll try to attach a picture maybe in one of my reading vlogs at the very, very end. But that's what she looks like. Her name is Cassie. We just got to meet her. She's so cute. Adorable. So that's what we did. So that's what we did. But I did wind up reading a little bit more of this. I got up to 100 pages. I will give you guys another update when I read about another 100 pages. Just because I don't want this reading vlog to be so long. And I do want to get through a lot of books this week. So I'm going to go do a quick workout. Something I haven't done recently in the last couple of days. Then I'm going to come back and we'll make some more progress on Glow of the Fireflies. But so far I'm really liking it. I'm happy that I picked it up. I've had this book on my TBR for a very, 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 very long time. So... And her other book, Kiss of the Royal, I think I had an e-arc of at some point, and then I just never wound up reading it. So maybe if I like this one enough, maybe I will try to get the paperback from Untitled. So that's something to consider. But I'll see you guys when I read 100 more pages and I've worked out. Bye. It's about 7 o'clock. I did wind up reading to page 200 about in Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan. I am liking this book. It's really a perfect spring novel. There is a lot of elements. It's very, very questy because, like, to get something back, she has to open up these portals, and it does remind me a lot of like elemental magic. If you're looking for a book that has elemental magic that's not Nature of Witches, this would work really well. The characters do read a little bit young to me, but like, you know, again, it's not that bad. It's just that like it does read a little bit like that. I can probably spy a plot twist coming, but I am going to take a little bit of a reading break because I don't want to get burned out from reading. So I have a Goodreads project that I'm in the middle of planning. I really want to use Goodreads more in the planning of my videos, but my Goodreads and my book collection is just not connected like at all. So I'm going to take a couple hours tonight and sort of flesh that out. I only have about 90 pages left in this, so I think I can probably tackle that a little bit later, if not tomorrow. I don't want to get burned out on reading because I do really like to read, but I have been reading a lot pretty religiously, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and I'm just going to sort of go through my Goodreads and sort of get it up to par because it's not there yet. But I am liking this book quite a bit. I'm happy that I picked it up, and I'm happy that I wound up DNFing that other book. So my next plan is just to sort of go through my shelves and do it in order. It's a project I've been wanting to do, and I've just been failing at it. So that is my next project, to work on that, and I will come back. If I read any more tonight, I would love to get up to page like 235 tonight before I go to bed. But I'm going to take a little bit of a reading break. I feel like I've been reading all for the past 2 days, which is basically the point. But yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break from this. And then I'm going to do some Goodreads things. So that's my plan. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. I'm going to do a little bit of an update. It is now the 20th. I did wind up doing a little bit more editing last night on my Goodreads shelves. It's going to take me a long process, I will tell you that. It's going to be a very, very long project to do, but I am going to do it once I'm a little bit more focused. But I did wind up getting up to page 221 in Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan. I really am liking it. It's like the perfect spring read, I think. It has a lot to do with, like, supernatural elements. It has a lot to do with a forest. It becomes very focused on 2 characters. And I just wish, like, the grandmother was a little bit more involved in the story, because the premise is like she's going to like help her grandmother after her grandma has fallen, and that's really not a part of the book. Her friend Izzy is more involved in that. You don't even get Izzy's point of view in the story. I left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, so I want to just tackle the rest of this, and then I'll kind of report back, and then I'll see where we are and what I want to do. I definitely do want to read for the rest of the day, catch up on some YouTube videos. I still am making my way through my YouTube queue because it's just been a lot, but I'm going to go back to reading. I think we have some errands planned today later. But I hope to make some progress on my reading, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. Right now I'm back. I did wind up running a bunch of errands. I got some new glasses and some new sunglasses because I have some trips coming up in the summer that will be very, very sunny. I did finish finishing Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan. This did wind up counting for Aurelium because it does have a light source on the cover. So I think I'm done with all my Aurelium book choices in theory. I might read one more towards the end of the weekend, but all my books have been chosen, which is great. I'm still waiting to see if they do any quests, which I'm waiting for. But I thought this book was cute. I liked it. It was not very long. Mine was only a little bit less than 300 pages. But it was a fun read. If you're looking for a book about elemental magic and seasons and stuff like that, if you really liked Nature of the Witches, I think you would like this book a lot. It wasn't my favorite. The side characters sort of got lost. And I felt like a book that the premise was her going to help her grandmother. That really got lost in the details. But I did like the characters. The romance was definitely the focus. There was some unexpected twists and turns. But overall, it was a 3-star read. And I will probably do a recommendation video where I recommend this if you also liked Nature of Witches. But I liked it. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break just because I feel like I'm getting burned out on reading so fast. And I'm going to pick up The Cartographers by Ping Shepherd, because I have not read an adult book this month, and I really want to. And it just says, the perfect for fans of Joe Hill and V.E. Schwab, The Cartographers is an ode to art, science, history, magic, a spectacular imaginative modern story about how the ancient craft and places still undiscovered. I think this is about a girl named Nell. Her father dies, but her father is very obsessed with a cheap gas station map. And Nell's sort of going to uncover why he's so obsessed with that. So I'm really excited. It's not that long. This is a book of the month pick. It's 366 pages. But I am going to take a little bit of a break, and I think I'm going to start another Goodreads organization vlog and share my screen with you guys and say what I'm doing in that, or maybe I'll just talk about it later. But that's the plan. So I'm going to go start that, take an hour, try to get that done, because it's been something that's been on my mind for a while, for especially with organizing and doing videos. I just want to be a little bit more organized. And honestly, I hate Storygraph. So if I'm going to pick a system to work, I'm going to pick Goodreads. So that may be controversial, but alas, everyone can have their own opinions. So I'm going to go do that, and I will talk to you guys in a little bit when I'm ready to pick up The Cartographers, which may take a couple of hours. So we'll see. Bye, friends. Lori here and back. I just want to say that I wound up reading the first 50 pages of The Cartographers. I don't know if this is a fantasy book or a thriller, or if it's a mixture of both. So I don't know. This book might not classify for my adult read of the month. I may have to pick up something else when I'm done reading this, because I thought this would be, but it really reads more of a thriller to me, or a mystery, which is fine. I'm liking it. I'm just was expecting a little bit more fantasy. But you follow this character named Nell who works in map restoration with her dad. Her dad used to work at the New York City Public Library. It does take place in New York. But after a really bizarre falling out, 10 years previous, her dad dies, and the object that caused their falling out was an old map that is a gas station map, a New York, a regular map, and they're very into fancy maps, older maps, and restoring them. So her dad passes away. She finds this map, and then she realizes that all of the maps in the world, in the United States, have disappeared, been stolen, or are missing. And she starts to uncover what is happening with this map, and maybe this map has caused the demise of several people in her life in the past 24 hours. So it's very, very compelling. I'm intrigued. I just don't know if it's going to be a pure fantasy book or not, but I am liking it. It's been a bit since I read a book of the month book. I'm also going to a Zoom meeting for The Secrets of Dumbledore later tonight in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to read a little bit more of this. I would love to get up to page 100 before I stop reading for the night, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow, and hopefully I will make a bit of progress. But I don't know if it's going to be fantastical or not. Well, we will find out. But I am liking it so far. So, talk to you guys in a bit. Bye, friends. Here I'm back. It is the 21st of April. I'm heading to the end of my break, which is still sad, but we're getting there. But I did get to page 62 in The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. I still don't know if this is going to be a fantastical story at all, so I'm reading it as a thriller, and I'm very invested. She's a lot of things are happening in the story, and like you're very focused on the relationship between her and her dad in the past, and also like why this map is so important, and I'm really liking it. Like very, very fun read, very, very quick pace when I can actually sit down and watch. So I only have 30 videos left in my YouTube queue, which is great. I think I could definitely get that down today and possibly watch some TV shows, which I have not done all week. Some of them are very, very long. So my goal is to make some significant progress on this today, and when I get up to page like 150, I'll give you guys like maybe like when I get to page 100, I'll give you guys a check-in. 150, I'll give you guys a check-in. Depends on how much I have to talk about. But I am liking it. So I'm about to reading, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Bye, friends. A quick update. It's about 3 o'clock. I did wind up getting up to page 131 in The Cartographers. I'm starting to think this book is more of a thriller or a mystery, but unlike all the other thrillers and mysteries I tend to read, they have not characters that are super unlikable, which I'm liking. It also does have more of a mystical element, like a mysterious thriller element to it. So basically, as I said in my previous clip, these maps are going missing and no one can find these maps, and her dad is killed, the library is robbed, and then as she starts diving into it, she realizes there might be more to this mystery after all, and she starts to uncover what her dad is doing with these maps and why he's hunting for them. And then it also starts to uncover who was connected to his dad, and it's just very compelling. It's a very rich story. Like, it's a very like complicated story, I'll say that. It's very, very history based, talks about a lot about cartographers and maps. But I am liking it, and I'm enjoying it. It's nice to read a thriller that the characters I don't hate. Normally when I read thrillers, I do hate the characters, so I actually do like all the characters in the story. And I'm curious to see how it winds up, but there are elements that make me think, could there be a fantasy element here? So I don't know. Someone said it's like a fantastical thriller, so we will see, but it seems like a modern world. So I will see. I'm going to keep reading, and I'll report back when I get up to page like 200, and we'll see where we are. I'm also making headway on my YouTube queue. Thankfully, I only have 28 videos left, so that's good. But I'm going to keep reading, and I'll report back when I can. Bye, friends. I want to do a quick update. It's about 7:40. I did wind up reading to page 200 in The Cartographers. This book is like really interesting because like it's sort of like when I read Burden Falls or when I read Broken Things. You don't really know what you're reading, and I think it's pitched as a mystery, but we're getting elements that like maybe it's not. There is something happening with the locations on these maps because they're finding these maps that have what's it called? It's like a hidden, like, it's not like a lies on the map. Like, basically, you make this map and you put things on the map that doesn't really exist. And there's something with those things that make them somewhat realistic in some situations, which I think is super interesting. So that's the supernatural element to it, and I'm like really intrigued because there's also a lot of history in this book, like a lot of characters. The one thing I don't love about this story is because you have a lot of point of view characters, like there's like at least 6 that you get in their heads because you're sort of floating back with the people that Nell's father knew. So when these people are telling Nell a story, it's not like they're having a conversation. They're just doing like a monologue, and you're back in that time period, and it gets like a little bit confusing. Those parts of it do. But I'm really liking it. Like, it's a very fast-paced read. I am curious if it's going to go full. I always say this when I read books like this. If it's going to go, like, full fantastical and will have a real fantastical element, or if it will have a scientific excuse. So, sometimes they go both ways. I've read books that have both elements. The girls... The one by Sarah Beth Durst had that as well when I read that. Or Sarah Glenn Marsh, The Girls Are Never Gone, had another element like that that was like sort of supernaturally The Dark and Shallow Lies has another one that had like a potential supernatural element to it. So I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to read, I really would love to read another 100 pages. I always say I'm going to read like late into the evening and then I just get like too tired and then I don't. But I'm going to go get something to drink to hydrate myself, which I never ever do. That's always a problem. And then I'm going to try to read a little bit more. I also have 18 videos left in my YouTube queue, and most of them are pretty long. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I do want to start another reading vlog tomorrow for like the weekend. So I'm hopeful that I will make some significant progress on this today. We will see. I am liking it. It's different. I don't know if I'm going to count this as my fantasy book of the month. We will see. At least, I mean, it is an adult mystery. I will say that, but it may not count as what I'm thinking, so we'll see. But I'm going to go take a little bit of a read. Well, you guys will just see me when I come back. I will have read about 50 pages, and I'll give you guys another update. So, bye, friends. Larry here and back. It's about 8:50. I did wind up reading about 37 more pages. I am really liking this book. I think it's probably like the most unique book I've read all year. The mystery element is definitely getting more intense. We're also diving more into like the fantasy element. I do think the blurb on the back of this book is really interesting because it's like a combination of fantasy, thriller, and science fiction, which I think is really interesting. And the one thing that's sometimes a little bit challenging about this book is the way it's told. Like, you get a lot of people's point of views and they're just telling Nell like this whole story. And that's the part that's just a little bit confusing to me because all the characters seem very similar. So, like, other than Nell and one other character, all the other point of views are pretty similar because they have very similar experiences. But I do like the characters in this story for the most part. And I struggle with thrillers a lot because I normally hate all the characters just because they're super unlikable. But tomorrow's my last like day off, like my last official day off because then we have a weekend. So I'm going to try to do some filming tomorrow and just do organizing. I am really liking this book. So I think I'm probably going to try to finish this book tomorrow. I think this would count as an adult fantasy. I'll probably count it as for like my reading challenge. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow when I wake up in the morning because I have to organize a bunch of stuff, and sort of plan my day. I have to do a bunch of stuff tomorrow morning as well. So that's my plan. I will check in with you guys tomorrow. I have to do, my mom is off tomorrow, so I might actually wind up going shopping, which might be good because I can get more of this done. But yeah, that's my plan for tomorrow, is to finish this book, do some of my errands, and enjoy my day off. So I will check in with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I will have read a bit more, but really liking this. Definitely unique, I will say that. And I'll give you guys an update tomorrow. Bye, friends. Alright, here I'm back. It is 12:30. I ended up doing a bit of shopping. I went to Barnes & Noble. I bought a few books for my Aruba trip. There was buy one, get ones, 50% off. So I bought 4 different books for that. I bought a beach bag. Spilled my Starbucks drink all over the floor, which was not as exciting. But in that traveling and adventuring, I did wind up getting up to page 281 in The Cartographers by Pink Shepherd. I have about 100 pages left. I also last night I stayed up very, very late and I finished all of my YouTube videos, which was the plan because I really want to watch TV today. I want to watch a couple of things and catch up on a few things. So I'm going to start This Is Us. It's the last season. I've heard some conflicting reports about this season from everyone that watches, but I am a completist and I just have not been watching. So I'm going to try to catch up today on that and then catch up on Good Doctor. So those are my 2 plans for today and make some significant progress on this book. So I'm on page 281. The book has like 381 pages. So I have about 100 pages left. Definitely doable for today. And then I'm going to film my part 1 of my wrap-up when I'm done because exporting 2 videos at once is just a little bit complicated. So I'm going to go read this. I'm going to go read a little bit. And when I get up to when I have about 50 pages left, I will give you guys another check-in. Bye, friends. Hey, friends. Lori here. I just want to wrap up this reading vlog. I wanted finishing The Cartographers by Pink Shepherd. I liked it. It was definitely really interesting. This is a book I would sort of go into blind. I would definitely classify it more as a mystery thriller, but there is a fantastical element to it, maybe more magical realism. So if you're really like in the mood for a thriller with some fantasy elements, definitely more science fiction, I would say, if anything, not really fantastical, but more sci-fi. I did enjoy it. I felt like The writing style didn't really work for me because there was a lot of point of view characters in the story. There's like at least 8 or 9. And I felt like the author struggled to differentiate the voices, and it was a lot of telling. There was a lot of storytelling in this, but it didn't capture me. So it would only give this one like 3.75 stars if I'm being generous. Probably 3.5. I'll do 3 on Goodreads. But it was okay. It was a fun standalone. Happy that I'm getting through my Book of the Month book. So this is a 3-star. This reading vlog started off with a soft DNF of Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I do want to pick up the audiobook and see if I like it any better, but this is a soft DNF. And then I finished reading Glow of the Fireflies by Lindsay Dugan, which again was like a 3-star read. Again, I'm just trying to get better at reading the books on my TBR card. And then I did not talk about it in this video, but during this weekend or this little reading vlog, I finished reading Hood Feminism by Nikki Kendall, which was my nonfiction that I've been reading for about 2 months. So this is the one I've been reading in the morning, but because I had a week off, I had a lot more time to devote to it. So yeah, I'm going to go start another weekend reading vlog focusing on some spring reads. You guys will see that next. Stay safe, everyone. Tell me in the comments what are books you have been really excited for. If I had to choose one in this reading vlog, I would definitely say Glow of the Fireflies, that I really liked, and I kind of flew through it. But honestly, both of these books sort of did not wow me, unfortunately. So a little bit of a disappointing reading vlog, but I did knock 3 books off of my spring TBR, so, you know, we'll take what we can get. But I'll talk to you guys for my next reading vlog. Bye, friends.